here.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Frank Bacon and I'm joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Joseph. Context, really quickly. Oh, no, do you want to say something first?
I just realized something. I should have clapped to sync my audio to my video.
I also should have clapped. Should we do that in the episode? Should we just do an in-episode clap?
Okay, sure, yeah.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Beautiful.
Yay.
Well done.
Mine wasn't ready for that. It's fine.
Yeah,
All
really
right,
quick context. I have COVID, so that's why this is a Zoom episode again. Joe might have COVID, but we don't think he does. He is a close contact to me, but I have already given one other person COVID by accident, but only them. So hopefully that's it, but I'm isolating for the next 6 days now. So that's why we're Zooming. But we thought it would be a really good opportunity to do our Shining episode again, because wait, hang on. It's been 100. Why does this keep happening? It's been 100 episodes since we did the Shining episode.
It's perfect.
I think it actually might be. Wait, I'm checking now.
This would be 109, right?
5, 6, 7. It totally is. This is 109. Yeah, this is our 100th episode since we did the Shining episode. This is great. It was meant to be. Clearly,
meant to be. Yep.
For those of us who have not been around for the whole entirety of the show, The Shining is my favorite movie, and I have forced that love upon Joseph as well. And by request from personal strangers, we were asked to re-record. Well, we weren't asked, but he said that this episode, the Shining episode, was the only one he's re-listened to. So we're redoing that episode now that we actually have personalities of some kind. And we're not just like, hey, did you know that The Shining is directed by Stanley Kubrick?
And it's shot on a camera?
It's one of those cameras that it shoots and then
it's got buttons
and
things.
It plays it back, but it plays it back in real time. It's like taking like 24 photos a second. Dude, it's crazy.
That's a lot.
I know. That's like 12 every half a second.
No. Yes.
Yes, it is. Buddy, pal.
I still don't have it.
But The Shining is my favorite movie of all time. Joe and I rewatched it. This is why we're at close contact. We rewatched it 2 days ago, the night before I started getting symptoms, and then that morning I tested myself. So that's why we're at close contact. But it's all in the name of The Shining.
Of Stanley. All in the name of Stanley.
All in the name of Stanley Kubrick. But do you want to talk, because you said before we started the show, you said something about now that you've seen it 3 times, you felt like you kind of understood it a little bit more now? Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I've seen it so many times now that I feel like I get minor new details, but I think I've seen it like probably like 14, 15 times now. Okay.
Well, but the biggest thing for me was how long all the shots are. So like there were things that happen, like the dog in the room with that other guy, like that really random sort of like cutaway. I thought that was only like a split second, but it actually is there for ages.
Yeah, it's a good 30-second shot, right?
Yeah, that was actually my biggest thing from the third one. I don't know why that kind of stuck with me the most, but it was just like how long all these things were. I think my brain was just like, there's no way all these things can happen within 2.5 hours. I don't know. And it just thought they were all shorter, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, we had that before as well, because I've set this up to play The Shining in the background of the video podcast.
I'm watching it.
But we had we had that before as well, because we saw this scene and both of us went, oh, we're going to have to restart it because it's too far along in the movie. And I wiggled the mouse and it was at like 1 hour and 5 minutes or something, and it still had like 1.5 hours to go. So
yeah,
clearly like there is it's and I had that as well this time watching it. It felt way longer.
I didn't feel that. I felt it was more engaging. because it
Yeah,
was like,
no, not to say that it's less interesting, but just like
no. But it was like, oh, this thing is already happening, and we're only an hour in, or like
yeah,
just past halfway or something.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get any other new takeaways out of it? Did your interpretation of the movie as a whole change at all?
Not really. I understood a lot more. Like I understood, like the importance of that conversation between the cook and Danny.
Yeah.
Danny?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah, Daniel. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that conversation I didn't really understand the first couple of times that I watched it. I was like, okay, like, I don't know, the cook and his grandmother could talk to each other without opening their mouths, but it was like, oh, no, that's what they did just before, and then that comes up later and you're like, oh, that's starting to make more sense.
It all connects in the end.
Yeah, so bits like that. So I think it kind of like solidified my interpretation of like it's almost not like the hotel's haunted or like the hotel's got the shine or something. It's like, I don't know. It's like, or maybe the hotel did have the shine and the father, I've forgotten his name, John. Jack. I just thought Johnny. That's why I thought John. And like Jack had the shine, but he didn't know, and so then the hotel was playing tricks on him. I don't know. I guess it's made me more confused.
Yeah, I feel like the more I understand about the movie, the more I understand, the more questions I have about the movie. Like it just gets more and more convoluted as I understand more. Like my current interpretation of the movie is that there's two big things occurring at once. There's Jack's justification to himself that he didn't abuse his son, because that's a whole plot point. And then there's like the whole actual supernatural element to it. So I think what it is that the Overlook Hotel isn't haunted, but it's like a hotspot for the shine. So it like draws all these people in that either have the shine or are susceptible to like the hotel as a whole, I think. And because Jack is such a broken and like wrecked man at the time of the movie, I think the hotel kind of preys on that and then tries to use that to get rid of the shine, like to get rid of Danny and to get rid of the cook and things like that.
I don't know. Was he trying to get rid of them though? Like it seemed like,
I mean, he was pretty actively trying to kill them.
I mean, like it almost seemed like the shine just wanted some dead people. Like it wasn't actively trying to go after the cook. It was only going after the cook once Jack realized that that Danny was trying to communicate with him, or like that the cook was like, oh, something's wrong, I'm gonna go up and check.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, true. I mean, I guess more what I'm saying is that like the hotel tries to draw people in that have the shine. That's kind of more my interpretation of it. Like it's like a big magnet or like a neon sign in Vegas, you know?
Yeah. Actually, you know what I just realized? When Jack's at the hotel, it just reminded me of the scene that's playing right now behind you.
This one? It's pretty convenient, right?
Yeah, it's very convenient. So like when I'm thinking about when Jack's at the bar and he has his first drink, I think it's not this scene, but a different one.
Yeah, it's the scene before this, yeah.
Yeah. And he says here's to like 3 months without alcohol or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It was something months, but when
Wendy,
when he dislocated like Danny's arm, that was years ago.
Yeah,
and Wendy
true.
said that he hadn't had any alcohol since that happened.
Right.
So what does that mean?
that he's a lying cheat.
Is he a liar or is he like I don't know. Does he think it's only been 3 months? Is he actually is he actually just lying?
I see what you're getting at. Right. I don't know.
Is The Shine saying it's... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I would chalk... For me, I would chalk that up to him justifying it to himself, I guess. I don't know. That is a weird detail, though. I like that.
Or is that a genuine mistake? Surely not.
It might be. Or we might be misremembering it, which is also totally plausible.
Yeah.
Because we have done zero actual research. Other than having watched the movie a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But it's a super interesting movie story-wise, I think, because you can interpret it in so many different ways. Even though there is kind of like the cut and dry surface level story of like, dude comes in, goes crazy, tries to murder his family, and then dies. Like, that's kind of the surface level. But then there's all these little layers underneath it that add to the overall story, because you've got all the Shine stuff, then you've got all the like home life stuff from before they even got to the hotel. Then you've got this dude, that guy, the janitor dude, like before, this has happened before. So it's clearly something that the hotel wants in some capacity to happen there. Mass murder in general, I guess. So you've got all these like underlying plot points that when you start digging into one of them, you have like 100 million new questions, and then you're like, okay, I'm done in that hole. I'm going to jump over to this hole, and then you like go into the next section. So it's like it constantly reinvigorates your interest in its own story, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many interpretations. There's too many ways it can go, I think.
Yeah. Which I think is what I really, really like about it.
Yeah, because we can sit here and talk about different ways that stories that it's telling for hours, probably.
Well, here's something that I was thinking about this time that we watched it. And this is an actual question I'm asking you. Do you think that Jack Torrance is an evil or a bad guy?
No.
Tell me more.
Well, I kind of disagree with you when you said that he was a broken man and he didn't have it all together. Okay.
All right. Go on.
Because like, I don't know, he's trying to get back into writing. From what Wendy said, he hadn't drunk in 3 years. And yeah, he was just sort of trying to get a bit of money from looking after this hotel, trying to get back into writing, trying to get sort of stuff back together. And so, yeah, I didn't think he was like broken. And now I've forgotten your question.
Do you think he's a bad or evil man?
And that's why I reckon no. Like, I don't think... Well, he definitely didn't go in there with the intentions of being bad or didn't show any signs of being bad. But yeah, he just seemed to change while he was there. So I don't think there's any evidence to say he was bad from the beginning, in my opinion. Why? What do you think?
I also don't think that he's a bad man, but I think that the hotel on the whole preyed on his insecurities a lot. Like something that I was thinking about this time, because you have the whole scene that we skipped earlier, the bathroom scene, where he like goes in, and it feels so out of place in the rest of the film. But there's so much stuff that happens to Jack in this movie that I feel like is the hotel directly attacking him, like, and his personal misguidings, I guess. And so like when he's going into that hotel and he's going into that room and she's there, I feel like that's kind of him battling his own thoughts about like infidelity and things like that, and like wanting to cheat on Wendy because, you know, she does X and Y and she makes me feel X and Y. And then you've got all the other stuff, like he really wants to write at the hotel but he can't. He just writes the same sentence over and over and over again. And, you know, he really wants to spend time with his wife and kid, but like he's constantly being pulled away to do other things. So I feel like the hotel is preying on all of the insecurities and things that he really wants to achieve to break him down more and more and more as the story progresses, to make him weaker and therefore more susceptible to being urged into, killing his family.
Can we try look at it at like, because at no point from what I remember, is there any talk about the hotel being able to control the shine?
No, there's not.
So, do you think there's a way? I don't know. Like how, if we think about it, like the hotel, the building has nothing to do with it. Like we know that the shine can leave kind of footprints and memories around the place. How, I don't know, how does that then control him, do you think, if it's not the building that they're in?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of the same thing, though, regardless. Like, it's not necessarily the building itself, but I mean more like that specific location is a hotspot. Like, that's what's causing it. And whether that's because something bad has happened there in the past. There is actually... Sorry. On that note, there's a lot of Native American imagery all throughout the movie. Like, the whole hotel has, like, Native American-themed walls and tapestries, and they say at the start that it's built on this Native American burial ground. So then the follow-up to that is maybe the place is literally just haunted because it's built on a Native American burial ground.
Yeah, right. Wow, didn't think of that.
Yeah. What do you think about those apples?
I think that's a very plausible thing. I don't know. It's just another one of those things. It's like, yeah, that could be true.
Yeah. That's my favorite part about this movie, though, man. It's just like you say something and then it's like, I guess that could work.
It derails everything else, I thought, but yeah, it could work. Yeah.
Maybe Jack Torrance is an alien from space, and he's come down to take over the world.
And then he gets put into a hotel. That could be it too.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe it.
Look, I stand by it. Then this is the complete other side of it, right? What if none of the magic or supernatural elements are real? What if all of that is just in Danny's head, and it's a coping mechanism for the trauma that he's experienced from being abused by his family? And did Jack just plan to kill his family the whole time, and that's why he wanted to take this hotel job?
That could be true.
I mean, I guess that could be true.
I don't think so, because what about the cook then? Like, you're kind of disregarding him with that
That's
theory,
true.
I think.
That's true, but
and
I don't know if he ever says any of the stuff about the shine out loud. Does he?
The cook?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, like when they're talking in the kitchen, that's why that conversation really stood out to me this time watching it, because he literally tells him it's called shining.
Oh, yeah, true. That is an actual conversation that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, like that connection between Danny and the cook, I think.
That kind of derails that. So then, yeah, the supernatural element of it kind of has to be real then.
Yeah. Whether like all of those people that were in the hotel were actually there, I don't know. Like, obviously they were remembering. Although what the cook said, what did he say? They're like photos in a book or something like that.
Sorry?
They're not real, but they're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but something like that. They're just photos or snapshots in time or something. Yeah, and they're not real. So, are they actually not there?
The ghosts, quote unquote, you mean?
Yeah, well, like the two girls, the girl in the bathroom, the whole ballroom full of people.
Yeah.
yeah, I guess they're just not there.
Right.
They're just talking.
I like that
into-
theory,
well,
actually.
Jack's just like talking into space, talking to himself.
Interesting. So it could all just be that then they're... So are you saying more so that he's the only person that can see them?
I think the people who can shine, who have the shine,
see
can
them.
see them.
Right.
And I reckon Jack has the shine, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know what it is.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. So you think it's like... That would make sense, though, because then if Danny has it, then it would stand to reason that his dad would have passed it down to him, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, then Wendy doesn't have it because she doesn't see any of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would make sense
yeah.
because they're not blood related. Well, I mean, Danny and her are, but, you know, it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
That's not... And that's genetics, baby.
Science with the Froe show.
I have one other little theory that I wanted to bring up that I noticed this time that I wanted to save for last because we are like 20 minutes in already.
Jeez.
I know. But this is something that I noticed only on this rewatch, and I'm gonna watch it again to see if I can figure it out. But you know how when Danny goes into room 237 and he gets strangled by that lady, right? And then Wendy comes running out to Jack and tells Jack that he's been strangled, blah blah blah, that whole bit, right? Mm-hmm. So when Danny goes into room 237, it's this really weird like transition because the way that the shot fades, it makes it look like Wendy was or is in the room, in room 237. So this time I had a theory that maybe Wendy was the one that strangled Danny and the whole movie is Wendy having a psychotic episode. For audio listeners, Joe is jamming his microphone on his forehead.
Okay. Interesting.
Another thing that I noticed that adds to this theory is that because
Yeah.
my theory, right, is that she has like these psychotic episodes, and that's like all the major events of the movie are her having these psychotic episodes and imagining these things happening. But you know the typewriter scene where Jack starts like yelling at her and telling her to get out? So when she walks away, Jack has like this really confused, kind of like puzzled look on his face. He's like, for audio listeners, that was a confused, puzzled look. I can't really do that audibly, can I? But he looks confused when she walks away. So my theory is that maybe she just was having a psychotic episode, walked up to him, says nothing, and then just walks away. And that's why he's like, what? And she just imagined that whole argument in her head.
I think so because I know that what she says back to him, it's very weird. Like he's like yelling at her and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
You know, it's like a strange conversation.
Yeah.
So you might be right. And that would also back up my theory with like, you know, all the Shining stuff and all the people are just like pictures in a book or whatever the saying is.
That was
and
it.
Like,
pictures in a book.
Yeah, and they can't strangle Danny, so one of them had to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. I reckon.
Oh wait, true. I see what you're
right.
saying now about the pictures in the book thing. Yeah, that makes total sense. Because at no point during the movie do they ever physically touch each other.
No.
Like I mean like the ghosts, quote unquote. They don't touch any of. They don't touch Wendy
Danny.
or Jack or Danny.
Yeah. So
Right.
I reckon that Wendy's actually being affected by the shine, and maybe she doesn't have it, and she's just getting affected by it, and that's her like episodes. So maybe everyone's in the loop, and like it's just all happening.
Yeah,
Speaking
right.
of that scene, it's happening behind you right now.
Oh yeah. No, it's the one before this. It's not this one.
No, it doesn't. Because
No.
Danny
This is the
walks in
baseball bat
later.
scene. This is the baseball bat one.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the one before this, where he's
Right.
like, "Get them out of here," you know that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That bit.
Speaking of the baseball bat scene, and we're talking about weird looking shots, I'm sure you probably know this, but the first time I watched it, when like it's shooting back at Jack and he's walking up the stairs,
Yeah.
the video of Wendy swinging the bat, I'm pretty sure is an overlay.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure that they recorded her swinging the bat separately. There's something moving in my room. Anyway,
Like on a green screen or something?
yeah.
No. Wait, like you mean they just put her on top of the staircase video?
Yeah. Of him walking up, and she's just... It's because it's just like her neck and her shoulder and then the bat. But like she moves very smoothly with the camera.
Right.
Going up
I see
the stairs.
I see what you're saying, but also this
Yeah.
is 1968.
They couldn't have done that, you reckon?
No, I don't think so. Is it 68? Or 70? Oh, 80. Sorry, 1980. Oh, I mean, I guess, but it would be a lot of work.
I don't know.
Yeah?
Rewatch that scene.
I don't
And
think it is though. I'm pretty sure that's all practical. I think it's just kind of an effect of it looking a little bit strange.
Just the way she moves with the camera is like, I don't know if she's actually walking up the stairs, because it's not like the camera goes up and she goes down or anything like that. It's like she moves with the camera.
Interesting. Yeah. Right. Well, to kind of
Just a technical, yeah.
Yeah, to slowly start bringing the episode to a close. My favorite shot still stands. It's my favorite two shots. The one of him staring out of the window, and the one of him walking up towards the maze and then zooming into the maze and then going to Danny and Wendy running around the maze. Still my favorite shots by far of that whole movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What were yours out of interest?
Favorite shots.
Or favorite moments. I don't know. Just a favorite bit,
really,
I guess.
Really, the whole scene of them... Well, the one that's happening in the background for visual listeners, but like the whole scene of where Wendy finds the paper, the book that he's written, and then that whole interaction with them back up the stairs.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all just different to like what we see now, and I love it.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. I think my favorite part of that shot is the cut right from the end, from when he gets knocked down the stairs and then to her dragging him through the freezer. I think that's so interesting. Like, you've cut out so much context there, but you don't lose any information of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you totally could have added like 5 minutes of unnecessary shots of her, like, you know, picking him up and like taking him down the stairs, and, you know, like all this extra MacGuffin that you don't need. And now it's just like, nah, we'll just cut straight to it because you don't need that context, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, it's really good.
All right. Well, we'll start wrapping it up now, but do you have any final review of The Shining now that you've seen it 3 times? Because I don't think we're going to, well, we might do another Shining episode in a while.
Episode 309.
We definitely won't do one in the near future. But
no.
Rest assured that Joe and myself continually rewatch The Shining somewhat regularly. Myself very regularly. Me watching it in the background now is like my 5th watch of this year.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I really like this movie.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I just remember the other thing is like all the zoom shots.
Yeah.
That you never see like these days anymore.
The crash zoom stuff.
Nice.
Where it's just like shoop. Yeah. Such a
really
good
cool.
effect. But yes, hit me with your final review of The Shining for the immediate future.
Final review is 10 out of 10. Would recommend. I don't know. The more I watch it, the more you get out of it, and just like the more interesting it is. I'm looking forward to watching it more and more. It's very, very good.
This is a good review. I stand by all of those words as they were well put together. My brain is starting to not work anymore.
I can smell that.
That was a good, like, yeah, you smell the burning toast?
Yep.
It was a good, like, 25 minutes of fairly intense brain work for me right there.
Yeah, that's a lot for a COVID boy.
Yeah, I'm struggling, man. It's rough out here. It is
You've
rough
done
out here.
well. You've done
Thank
well.
you. It was the Udi. The Star Wars Udi really pulled me through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up.
COVID boy needs to have a nap.
Yeah.
Do you have any parting words? Any closing thoughts, Joe?
No, just if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Have to watch it.
Good closing words.
That is my parting words.
All right. I don't have the soundboard here, so I'm gonna do a fake button. But yeah, it turns out that when you get COVID and you weren't expecting it, you don't have time to cart all of your gear from the warehouse back home. Crazy. Who'd have thought?
Shame.
Oh well. Thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of The Froe Show. We hope you've enjoyed that Shining flashback. You absolutely should go watch The Shining as soon as possible. It is available on Amazon. If you're in Australia, you can buy it for $5 or you can rent it for $5. It's well worth your money. Go watch The Shining. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Also, it was kind of weird doing an episode with just me and Joe again. That was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Good vibe.
It's weird just talking to you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.